On a night that will go down in British boxing history, Daniel Dubois surprised the world with a shocking knockout of Anthony Joshua at Wembley Stadium. This fight turned out to become the most devastating defeat of Joshua's career, leaving his plans of becoming a three-time heavyweight champion in tatters. This loss represents a significant turning point for Joshua, who, after consecutive victories post-Usyk, appeared to be on a resurgent path. Meanwhile, Dubois has solidified his position as a legitimate force in the heavyweight division. The fight was indeed as captivating as we all had expected. And if you haven't seen our pre-fight analysis video, it's definitely worth checking out. We went through valuable insights into Anthony Joshua's resurgence and Daniel Dubois' redemption, highlighting the pivotal role of their trainers. We compared Joshua's technical precision with Dubois' raw power and broke down their possible strategies, while offering predictions that closely mirrored the dynamics of the bout. In this video, part 2 of the Joshua vs. Dubois saga, we provide a comprehensive post-fight analysis, breaking down what went wrong for Joshua, how Dubois capitalized on his weaknesses, and finally focus on where both fighters might go from here. If you find this video interesting, please consider subscribing to our channel and liking the video. It really will help us to build the channel and provide more useful content for you as well as others. Now let's get started. Leading up to this fight, Joshua had banished the memory of his back-to-back defeats to Alexander Usyk. In the aftermath of those losses, Joshua's team regrouped, resulting in a string of 4 high-profile wins. His work with trainer Ben Davison appeared to be paying dividends as Joshua showcased his renewed confidence and technical improvements. The talk of a 3-time heavyweight champion sounded more promising than ever, and there was palpable excitement surrounding his return to Wembley Stadium, a setting of past glory. On the other hand, Daniel Dubois came into the fight with redemption on his mind. Previously criticized for quitting in his loss to Joe Joyce in 2020 and being stopped by Usyk, Dubois had worked hard to rebuild his career. A string of victories over Jarrell Miller and Filip Govic earned him the IBF heavyweight title. But his legitimacy as a world champion was still under scrutiny. The fight against Joshua was his chance to silence the doubters. This fight, from the start, didn't go as many had expected. Joshua, with his decorated past as a 2-time heavyweight champion, was the favorite heading into the bout. However, Dubois, seemingly unbothered by the pressure of fighting on such a grand stage, had other plans. From the opening bell, Dubois aggressively pressed forward, imposing his power and presence on Joshua, who struggled to find his rhythm. Despite walking into the ring first, highlighting his role as the underdog, Dubois took control of the fight early. His relentless pressure caught Joshua off guard, and his heavy hands were an immediate threat. Toward the end of the first round, Dubois landed a colossal overhand right that sent Joshua crashing to the canvas, a moment that would set the tone for the remainder of the fight. Although Joshua was saved by the bell, it was clear the fight had shifted dramatically in Dubois' favor. As the fight continued into the second and third rounds, it became evident that Joshua was in serious trouble. His attempts to recover were thwarted by Dubois' offense. Joshua, a fighter known for his power and technical skill, was repeatedly hurt by Dubois' right hands and clubbing lefts. Each round brought more punishment, with Dubois landing clean shots that visibly shook Joshua. At times, Joshua appeared dazed, struggling to hold off Dubois' ferocious attack. Each time Joshua seemed to steady himself, Dubois would deliver another powerful shot that left the former champion stumbling. By the third round, Joshua was barely hanging on, wobbling against the ropes after absorbing yet another crushing blow from Dubois. In the fourth round, the nightmare continued for Joshua. A vicious left hand from Dubois sent him tumbling to the canvas once again. Though Joshua showed heart, beating his chest in defiance as he got back up, the writing was on the wall. The slow and methodical beating Joshua was taking showed no signs of stopping. Dubois was relentless, and with every passing second, it seemed like only a matter of time before the fight would be over. Despite being on the receiving end of a punishing performance, Joshua demonstrated the courage that made him a champion. Early in the 5th round, he landed a clean right hand that stunned Dubois. For the first time in the fight, it seemed that Joshua might have found a way back. However, Dubois responded, and as Joshua tried to follow up, Dubois landed 2 devastating right hands that brought the contest to a brutal and conclusive end. Joshua crumbled to the canvas, and the referee waved off the fight, signaling the end of a shocking and one-sided contest. Dubois had not only retained his IBF World Heavyweight title, but had done so in emphatic fashion, toppling one of the biggest names in the sport. The defeat led to much speculation regarding Joshua's strategy. Was it a tactical error, or was Dubois simply the better fighter on the night? As we covered in our pre-fight video, Dubois' best chance of victory lied in his ability to impose his power early in the fight. He would need to be aggressive from the opening bell, using his jab to set up his right hand and applying constant pressure on Joshua. By forcing Joshua to fight on the back foot, Dubois would be able to create opportunities to land his power shots and potentially score a knockout. Sure enough, from the opening bell, it was clear Dubois did indeed execute this strategy, as he had no intention of easing into the contest. He immediately put pressure on Joshua, forcing him onto the back foot. Joshua, whilst known for his power and technical prowess, defaulted to being cautious, trying to work defensively. Dubois' relentless aggression meant Joshua couldn't establish any meaningful control, and the turning point came at the end of the 1st round, when Dubois landed a huge overhand right punch that caught Joshua clean on the chin. The damage was done. From this moment, the former champion was fighting a losing battle, trying to swim against the tide that kept pulling him under. Of course, this has to be attributed to Dubois' agility and sharp counters, as he exposed Joshua's inability to move fluidly. In our pre-fight video, we suggested that for Joshua, the key to victory lies in controlling the pace and distance of the fight. Joshua would need to use his jab to keep Dubois at range, preventing the younger fighter from getting inside and landing his powerful shots. Joshua's footwork and head movement would be crucial in avoiding Dubois' attacks and creating angles for his own offense. We went on further. Defensively, Joshua will need to stay disciplined and avoid getting drawn into a brawl. While Joshua has shown he can trade punches with the best, he has also been hurt in past fights when he abandoned his game plan and got too aggressive. By sticking to his strengths and executing a smart, tactical fight, Joshua can outbox Dubois and secure a victory, whether by decision or a late stoppage. Unfortunately, this didn't quite work out as the game plan. In fact, Joshua came in at 252 pounds, a weight that seemed to contribute to a sluggishness in his movement, and perhaps affected his ability to control the distance and maintain his usual dynamic footwork. Joshua's weight and size seemed to detract from his speed, making it difficult for him to establish his jab and prevent Dubois from pressing forward. Trainer Ben Davison suggested that while the team had prepared well, there were moments during the fight when they could have adopted different approaches, indicating that alternative strategies may have been more effective in dealing with Dubois' aggression. One of the critical issues for Joshua was his footwork. Throughout his career, Joshua has relied on his ability to control the distance and angle of engagement. However, in this fight, his movement appeared sluggish. As Davison noted, his feet were lagging a little bit. He wasn't as sharp on his feet. This lack of mobility made it difficult for Joshua to evade Dubois' heavy shots or to mount an effective counterattack. Many, including heavyweight legend Lennox Lewis, pointed out that Joshua appeared flat-footed and lacked the defensive awareness needed to evade Dubois' power punches. Joshua's heavy frame also impacted his stamina and reaction time, as he struggled to adjust when Dubois unleashed his offensive arsenal. This fight did raise questions about Joshua's mental state. While Joshua entered the fight as the favorite, it became apparent early on that he struggled to find his rhythm. Observers pointed out that he didn't appear as confident or aggressive as he has in previous bouts, which could suggest that the pressure of the event and the stakes affected him. Ultimately, while Joshua did show moments of strength and resilience, Dubois' performance and power overwhelmed him. It's likely that a combination of both psychological pressure and Dubois' imposing presence contributed to Joshua's defeat. For Dubois, this fight was the culmination of years of hard work and development. Known for his power, Dubois was relentless in his approach. He applied constant pressure, forcing Joshua to fight defensively, a position Joshua has historically struggled with. Dubois' strategy was simple but effective. Overwhelm Joshua early, exploit his defensive lapses, and land his power shots. What stood out about Dubois' performance was his ability to capitalize on every opportunity. Even when Joshua momentarily rallied, Dubois kept his composure, waiting for the right moment to strike. His final knockout blow was a testament to his timing and precision. For Daniel Dubois, this victory is a career-defining moment. Many had doubted whether he could rise to the occasion against an opponent of Joshua's caliber, but his performance at Wembley answered those questions decisively. Dubois' power, composure, and aggression throughout the fight made it clear that he is a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. He has now firmly cemented his place among the heavyweight elite, with potential mega fights on the horizon. Dubois has expressed his desire to face the winner of the Tyson Fury vs Alexander Usyk rematch, a fight that would give him a shot at becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion. As for Anthony Joshua, this devastating loss raises serious questions about his future in the sport. While Joshua has experienced setbacks before, notably his shocking defeat to Andre Ruiz Jr. in 2019, this loss feels different. The manner in which Dubois dismantled him suggests that Joshua is past his peak. However, Joshua has made it clear that retirement is not on his mind. "We took a shot at success and came up short. We're going to live to fight another day," Joshua said after the fight. A potential rematch with Dubois is already being discussed, with Joshua likely eager to redeem himself. However, he will need to make significant adjustments if he is to stand a chance against the younger and more powerful Dubois. Before we end this video, we wanted to conclude that Dubois' knockout victory over Joshua was a seismic and pivotal moment in the boxing world. For Dubois, it was a statement win that has catapulted him to the top of the heavyweight division. For Joshua, it was a humbling and career-altering defeat. Can he adapt, or is this the beginning of the end? Whether Joshua can bounce back from such a crushing loss remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Dubois is now a major player in the heavyweight division, and his future looks brighter than ever. As the heavyweight landscape continues to shift, both fighters have critical decisions to make as they navigate the next chapter of their careers. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel and take a moment to leave your thoughts and conclusions in the comments. And don't forget, if you haven't seen our pre-fight analysis video, it's definitely worth checking out.